Har has come over just to taste this fruit. This is Valcarrie, and Har has a special connection to this fruit, so I was hoping you could tell us about your history with this mango.
Yes, the first or second summer that I worked at the old Zill nursery when I was a college student.
So that was around 1980 or so?
Well, the first summer was 78 and the second was 79, so around then this variety of fruited for the first time on a seedling in the old Zill nursery. There, any seedling that came up, if it wasn't in the way of the tractor, it was allowed to grow. And we who picked there were given lots and lots of instructions to make sure that we didn't pick any of the fruit of the seedlings, even though their branches were all up through the trees that we were supposed to pick. Well, this was one of those, and when it fruited, we all got in on the tasting, and we were all excited about it because none of us had tasted anything richer than that, and in my case, I'd never tasted any mango that rich.
So was the seedling underneath a Valencia Pride tree, or do you recall?
A lot of the seedlings were wherever someone finished eating the fruit and pitched the seed under the trees, so there was no particular rhyme nor reason where the seedlings came up. But the Zill men, and that was Lawrence Zill, the father, Walter Zill, oldest son, Gary Zill, youngest son, and the supervisor there, Miss Janie Sweeting, and several of the rest of us that got in on it. But the four that were really in the know looked it over and tasted it, and they were sure that this was a seed either from a Valencia Pride or a Carrie, and that whichever one of them the seed was not from was the daddy.
So it was a Valencia Pride Carrie cross. Everybody was certain of that, right?
Yes.
Because of the shape and the taste
Yes.
characteristics and the skin, I assume, because the skin is sort of Carrie-esque.
And it was so good that the conversation immediately passed on to the next subject, and that is, what should we call it? I piped up that in Brazil, where I had grown up, that parents of children who wondered what to call the child would often take part of the mother's name and part of the father's name and put the two parts together and make an altogether new name. So we did that and called this Valcarrie.
Okay, so it's you have to try it out, see if it's just like you remember. It's been a little while since you've tasted Valcarrie, right?
Yeah, probably a couple of years. The aroma is mild, but very nice. Even though we have many new Zill hybrids that are famous for being very richly flavored fruits, this is no less flavorful than the best of the new ones.
Now, strange thing for me is when I first tasted Valcarrie, I didn't like it at all. And I really like Valencia Pride and Carrie, and so I couldn't quite figure that out, but somehow the combination didn't work for me. But this particular fruit is very good. And so I'm not sure if I was tasting fruit that tasted different at that time because of wherever it was grown or the weather that year or something like that. It certainly wasn't from this property, but this is a very nice, rich, smooth fruit.
Even the Zills have commented in the past that this tree some years produced absolutely delicious fruit and other years produced fruits with what they called an off flavor.
That must have been it. It was not an on flavor, that's for sure.
And this is one of those fruits that is not for the faint of heart. There's so much flavor that it's too much for some people. A powerful mix of sweet and tart, yes, and resinous, spicy. And I always use resinous as a compliment.
This, unfortunately, is like our last fruit of the season. This was not a particularly good year for Valcarrie here. And we just have one tree, and so it's good that we got to try it, but unfortunately we don't have any to sell.
I think there were only 7 fruits in the whole crop.
So,
but the tree is only big enough to hold about 3 times that at its best. So we need some more branches or some more trees of Valcarrie.
right, yeah. So in any case, next year should be a better year, because often when you have a light year, the next year is a heavier than normal year. So,
And the tree will be bigger.
yes. So thanks very much, Har. I appreciate you coming over to taste this fruit and to give us the story on Valcarrie.